Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for Stone Vigil. This is a dragon-infested level 41 dungeon that you will encounter through your travels in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. This is also the first instance where you will receive Allagan Tombstones of Philosophy, which are used later on to buy gear. My name is Miss Tech, and I'll be your dungeon guide. This instance is set in a massive ruined castle, and as usual you'll have the customary side rooms full of treasure. Take note that the trash here can be challenging. Most of the packs you have to pull contain many mobs, a lot of them hard-hitting. The use of focused targeting and sleep here is very welcome. As you progress through the instance, you'll notice you get attacked by a flying dragon that will breathe fire down the length of the hallway. There is no way to interact with this dragon at this point, so it's best to pull and fight the majority of your fights in the side rooms, avoiding the breath entirely. Be careful of the patrolling dragon Avices? Avi? Whatever, just watch out for them. They have a few AoE attacks that need to be avoided. Tanks be sure to pick these up whenever necessary. The first boss is Chudo Yudo, a massive dragon that requires a fair amount of awareness. He has the standard AoE attacks that I'm sure you're used to by now, so be careful not to get hit by them. The one attack you need to watch out for is right here. Chudo will turn away from the group and run to a random section of the room. You have a few seconds before he unleashes a room-wide AoE attack called Lion's Breath. This will one-shot most players, especially undergeared folks. The only way to avoid this is to be standing behind Chudo at the time of this attack, so as soon as he starts to run away, chase him and stick to his bum. Overall, very simple. Avoid the Lion's Breath and you'll have him down in no time. The second boss is Coche, and I have a suspicious feeling that this dragon is the same one that's been harassing us in the hallway. I could be wrong, but it does seem that once you defeat him here, the hallway dragon no longer bothers you the rest of the instance. The room you fight Coche is quite small, so be careful when positioning the dragon and try to spread out a fair bit. You won't have much room to work with when you start throwing out the usual AoE effects. The cannons at the top of the stairs play an important role in dealing with one of the mechanics of the fight. Throughout the encounter, massive dragons will fly in front of one of these cannons and begin to attack your group. One of you has to run to the correct cannon and fire it at the dragon until it dies. Sub 50%, the boss will begin to spawn whirlwinds in random areas of the room. These do a fair amount of damage if you stand in or near them, so move away from them as soon as possible. Note that these whirlwinds can affect the cannon areas, making it difficult to shoot your dragons. Remember to use the cannons as necessary, and you'll kill it in no time. In this section of the dungeon, you'll come across areas of the hallway that will trigger a number of ice mobs to spawn. If you enter any suspiciously empty sections of the hallway, be on the lookout for these. The final boss is Isgabind, a massive badass ice dragon. He has the usual AoE effects that you should stay out of, and the healer should try to cleanse as many debuffs as possible. Movement is key on this fight, so any debuff that impairs you from doing so needs to go ASAP. The dragon will spawn AoE circles throughout the fight. These areas aren't marked by the usual obvious red lines, instead they appear as round patches of ice. Keep out of these as much as possible. The dragon will fly up into the air and begin a massive AoE attack that will affect part of the room. Run away from the visual effect on the ground to avoid this. He will land pretty hard on the tank here, so the rest of the party members should be away as much as possible to avoid excess damage. The following air phase gets a little more complicated. He will begin to bomb sections of the room, signified by the same round ice patches. It's imperative that you avoid these at all costs. Also, try to think ahead here and be careful not to get boxed in by the effects. There you go, Stone Vigil and another dragon down. Next up we have DD, so stay tuned. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.